Good afternoon. It's the commute home. It's quite a different commute than my previous ones. This one now to IBM, coming home from IBM. Generally speaking, I'm against all the commuting traffic. The only sort of hold-ups would be the motorway, the main roads, the Galway Road, the Naas Road to, Cork, whatever, to Limerick, whatever. Other than that, and that's just a spillover from people heading the commuter route. It can back up a little bit on the motorway itself. People changing lanes and things like that. All that shenanigans. So it's just gone 5 o'clock. Really nice time to be leaving. Not too late. Been here since just after 9. My shoulder's at me. It's sore. I've been because I've had a bad knee. Everything else is a bit stressed. And I've hurt my shoulder. I have a hot water bottle at home. I'm gonna fill it with some hot water and shove on it. I think. I've avoided taking too many painkillers. I find sometimes in the middle of the night I need a paracetamol to help me sleep. But I always find drugs are way more effective when you don't take them all the time. That's my advice. So I'm probably going to do it when I get home. The knee's still not 100%, but it's getting there. Just using a walking stick. I'm not using a crutch. I look quite, what's the word? Respectable when I with walking stick. A few funny things, funny unusual things happened to me when I've had the walking stick. There's one thing I discovered, and as a man, I'm a middle-aged man, but as a man, how I think you're viewed maybe in public and society, and no one ever helps you. Well, let's put it this way. You know what? You can stand, you can whatever. No one gives up the seat for you. Like, you're a man. They see you carrying someone heavy. No one's going to help you. And you start used to that. I mean, that's just how it is, isn't it? And especially when I was younger. You know what? You give up your seat for people. You don't be what have you. But yeah. So I went into Argos to buy it's a TENS machine for it's pain relief basically. It was a little knee machine, which obviously does involve drugs, which means you can use it quite liberally. If you're in a bit of discomfort. So I went to Argos to pick it up, and I'm with my walking stick. And the woman behind the counter, the look on her face, and she said, "You know what? I was just like you a month ago." She said, "Isn't it terrible?" And as I was leaving, she said, "Make sure you look after yourself." And I was quite touched. It's somebody cares. It's like it was an odd thing. A stranger. Knowing what it was like with a bad knee and all the rest of it, and obviously knowing how much pain and discomfort and all the rest of it. I was quite touched. The woman in Argos. And a couple of occasions it's happened now. I get a lot of people opening doors for me, and opening doors is lovely. You don't get that when you're an able-bodied man. It's very rare that anybody holds a door open for you. Maybe unless you're carrying something, But now the only problem I have is people open doors for me, which it's actually quite a distance to the door when they do it, and I feel compelled to hobble a bit quicker, which is ridiculous. So I've stopped doing that now. I just take my time, but. I was on a plane recently with a bad knee, and the one time when you want the land bridge, you want the thing that takes you to the terminal. They didn't have it. I had to walk down the steps. It was with BA, and I said to the hostess, I'm going to hold everybody up now, walking down these steps. I do a straight leg. There's no way I can describe it. My left leg has to be kept straight down the steps, so it means I ridiculously slow going up and down steps. And she stopped the whole plane to let me get off, wouldn't let anybody, get on the steps. And it was really nice, I never had this level of compassion before from strangers. It's like, wow, it was quite a nice feeling, just, having been glad to say, able-bodied man for most of my life. It was really touching, and I mean, it'd be very disingenuous to me to say, no, people should do it all the time, it should always be like that. Not just because I've got crippled at the moment or whatever, but I think it's the fact that the way society is, that, men are given their own space, and you know what, well, that's it. But then when there's anything like this, it's nice to see how, people naturally behave, and are compassionate and nice to strangers, and it's nice. It is a nice thing, But I was, touched by the woman in Argos. I was moved by the woman in Argos, I'm like, I was so blown away by people's reaction. I had to get to Dublin Airport with it, and I was lucky it wasn't PRE with Ryanair. It was actually BA, which wasn't too bad. But there was a lift. Interestingly, I got in the lift. I was the only person in the lift who actually had a problem with walking. Two very what's the word? Able-bodied young women got in the lift as well, which I thought was interesting. But I wasn't really complaining. But and then whenever I saw an escalator, it was like, oh yes, this is great, But steps were a big problem. So so getting to Dublin Airport was hard, and what I would say is it was sort of my own fault. And people have said to me, you should have asked for assistance, but to be honest, I think anybody who saw me, they saw that I was, on my own. I was obviously having difficulty walking. And even customs, nobody, they were real, I got a pretty bad vibe of the staff. There was never nobody who stood up and went, do you need a hand? Do you need some assistance? And I think that's a big negative. Yeah, okay, I didn't go looking for it. I didn't go running around going, whatever. I didn't. I couldn't run around for a start. But nothing was offered, even though people could see that I was going slow, I didn't have the full use of my legs, as it were. Dublin Airport was a bit of a downer for me, and even not necessarily staff, even the people there, around, they're all, you realise how selfish humans, and maybe I'm the same as well. How selfish humans are. You just fuck him, just overtake him, dragging your trolley, you fucking anyway. So and I got a feeling of that. And then every so often, I didn't experience the Dublin Airport, in places people have been, very, very considerate, and that's good. So it's not all lost, is it? But, I think I'd ask somebody if they needed help. If I saw somebody who I thought was struggling, I think I would. I'd like to think I would. I don't see a reason why I wouldn't. I've got off planes, I've got off trains, and I've helped people with bags, men and women, who looked like they were struggling. I did see a lot of women with very heavy hand luggage, and I think it's quite funny because people are obsessed with, you buy a scale, it's got to be 10 kilos or less, get it right up to the 10 kilos. Not thinking that they have to hold this bag above the head to get it in the overhead locker. And for me, throw the scale away. Get that bag when you're at home in private. Hold it above your head. If you can hold that bag above your head for 30 seconds, it's the right way. It's okay. Now, okay, if you're some sort of athlete or strongman, it might not apply, but generally speaking, and I'm talking about women mostly because a lot of women seem to have some very big, heavy bags, and just hold it above your head for 30 seconds. And if you can't even get it up there, take a few things out, check it in the baggage, just not worth it, is it, So, but yeah. So yeah, sort of a mixed experience at Dublin Airport, and an interesting. Other places I was quite taken aback how people can be very compassionate, and yeah, that was good, and people can be very helpful in other places. So now I'm on the M50 heading southbound, whatever that is in real money, anti-clockwise, is it clockwise? Clockwise. Traffic isn't too bad today. Going to do it around 20 minutes the total journey. I'm coming near the toll bridge. It's a bridge over the Liffey. It's like an invisible toll in the sense of, they take a photograph of your number plate and you've got to pay it online within so many hours. I actually have a tag, so I don't have to faff around. So as I go under the thing, the tag will bleep to tell me that they've just took some money off me. Like that. So I'm now going over the bridge. The traffic's slowing down a bit, but it's nothing to worry about. I mean, a 20-minute commute home to me is heaven. Oh, it's just fantastic, The last job, I was leaving at 6:15, 6:30, and it could still take me an hour to get home. It was crazy. Lots of people leaving the commute later and later, so lots and lots busier later, It's also nice to be heading home in daylight as well. This time of year, obviously, it's 5 o'clock, it's daylight in Ireland. I think about 6:30, 7 it's dark. We're going to change the clocks at the end of March, so we'll get an even longer evening, I think. And that's how it works, isn't it? I can't really remember. I could Google it, I'm not going to. So yeah, just going across the bridge now. So this is only my second recording podcast of 2020. I haven't listened to the first one yet. I'm hoping to maybe do it tonight and get it uploaded. Not sure about the quality. I am wearing a jacket, which I'm worried about rusting against the microphone. I was going to get a wireless microphone last year. I was on the list, and I just never got around to it. Too much on. One of my contracts came to an end in January. Finished another job in February. Started a new job in February, so it's sort of been quite hectic. And if I was honest, I probably got fed up listening to myself talking, really. I think because the commutes were very bad in the last job, I've had a little bit of negativity seeping in at times. It's hard not to be negative when you're tired and a bit cranky and you're on the way home. But I am happy about having, apart from having these ailments, the knee and the shoulder at the moment. I am happy with the new contract with IBM. I'm hopeful it's going to be it'll last a few years. Actually, essentially it's a 7-year contract that IBM have with the customer. I think it was 8 years. They've already done a year. There's another 7 to run. I'm based on a year contract that renews hopefully every year, and I don't see a reason why that can't go the full 7 years. Obviously I'm going to want more money, I'd say, as time goes by, but it's a good daily rate I'm on. I can't really complain. There won't be any out of hours to speak of, but I will probably be expected to do one of the 5 days a week. It might have to be a weekend day. I'm sort of not too fussed about that. Part of me doesn't want it fixed. I don't want to do like every Saturday be working. No, I don't want to do that. But if there was some flexibility, I'd do a Saturday here, a Sunday there. I'd be open to all sorts of things in that sense. As long as I have a time where I've got the weekends off and a bit of downtime, that's really important to me now. There's no doubt that, especially towards the end of last year, I was under immense stress, pressure with the work I was doing and everything else. I was working way too hard, and it certainly wasn't worth it, And certainly my goal for this year is, not to work as hard in a sense of the number of hours and out of hours. Quite happy to work hard during the daytime. I've no problem with that now, And try and get me sleeping back in order again. I think I'm gonna have to buy a new bed. Not happy with my mattress. I'm not happy with the base it's on. It's just, oh man. There's a sign up here that says delays on the M50 southbound junction 9 to junction 11. Well, I'm coming off at junction 11, so I'm sort of hopeful, quietly confident that they're not going to have a massive impact on my journey time. Google Maps is showing a lot of hold up. We're still moving. It's saying 13 minutes from here, which I think is quite respectable. Just looking at both sides of the M50 though, the amount of cars. It's just chock-a-block with cars, wow. Yeah, what day is this? Wednesday today. I notice a lot of people work from home on a Monday and a Friday, so those days are relatively quiet on the commute. But then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, well, it's a free-for-all. It's just madness. Just going up to the Naas Road now. It's the N7. It goes to Limerick, Cork, Waterford. Well, I think the N7 goes to Limerick. Obviously, it branches off to different ones. I can't remember what Waterford is now. Is that the N9? I can't remember. I'm not going to look it up. So, looks like we might stop it here for a second. But it's okay. There's a buoyancy still on the moor. There's still a bit of life there, a bit of movement. I mean, when you're in a car, everyone likes to be moving. I mean, no one likes to be stationary, do they? It's not a nice way to be. I mean, cars are meant to move, aren't they? Yeah. Have some water. It's been percolating in the car overnight and all day. Good old Glenpatrick water. Don't know where that comes from. Well, I know where this came from. It came from Tesco's, but it's somewhere in Limerick. It comes from. It's one thing. You'd think Ireland would have a lot of is water, and I think we do. I mean, it does rain pretty much all the time. Maybe today is a notable exception. But I think a lot of the pipe work was very bad. Losing a lot of it, but I think over the years there's been a lot of improvements. To be fair, I've been a very proud member of the EU, the European community, and they do contribute to infrastructure projects like that. They have contributed to roads and other stuff as well, so it's all good being in the EU. So I've stopped. I'll start again. This isn't too bad now. One of the things I did when I had the bad knee, I realised certainly it's my left knee that's bad at the moment, and that is normally the better of the two, if I'm honest. I didn't notice my left foot. When I was in my resting state, sitting down, it was a bit of a funny angle now to the side, and it got me thinking that my shoes weren't right, because your ankles can have a big impact on your knees. So I got new shoes. Got some. If I'm honest, they're not the most stylish in the world. Got really good grips though, but they're supportive. They're supporting my ankle more, and now my ankle, my foot is in a much more respectable position, and I'm hopeful that'll reduce the strain on me knee. But anybody out there who's had a bad knee, and I know a lot of people have had them. I know actually some young people who've had them reconstructed and all sorts of stuff. Actually worked with an American guy who, when he was younger, he had I think it was a sports injury, but he literally had to have his knee rebuilt, So yeah, it's not a fantastic part of the body to have problems with now. So I feel your pain, and if you're out there and you're nursing the sore knee, or knees, Jesus. And it's easy to have two sore knees, of course, because once you have one, puts pressure on the other. And bad knees run in my family. So we are still moving. I'm coming up to Junction 10 now, Ballymount. It's just the commute, isn't it? I think that's a little bit of acceleration here, getting past a few of these other little cars. The power of the BMW 5 Series. I really have to do something this year, I think, about the car situation. I'm thinking of getting a shitty little electric Nissan Leaf or something like that, nothing fancy. I'm sort of tired of spending thousands and thousands and thousands keeping this car going. It's a few faults on it. I've got crack in one of the alloys. I think I've a slow puncture anyway, one of the wheels. It's becoming a hassle, Do I really want a car that uses fuel and a combustion engine anymore? Do I care if I look an arse driving around? I mean, the Nissan Leaf doesn't look too bad now. Never really worried what people thought of me or looked at me, but I think electric would sort of make sense for the commute. It's 40 kilometres a round trip, and it can be stop-start, and I think that's perfect for electric car. I could also plug it in at night. I know it's not a full charge overnight if you just plug it into a normal socket because it's not getting enough oomph. I think they call it a top-up charge. You could get a charging point fitted as well, of course. Plus, I know there's at least 3 charging points on the commute. And I think there's fast charges. 30 minutes you get 80%. So that might be an option. I think they are very expensive in Ireland, electric cars, but there are government subsidies to make them a little bit more bearable. So it's something I'm thinking of. I'm never going to go down. I doubt I'll go down the route of a luxury automobile again. It's a huge waste of money. It's not really that justifiable anymore, even for the smooth, silky power of the sequential twin turbo straight six diesel, which ultimately is just a truck engine, really. To be fair, a tarted up truck engine from BMW. But it's lovely, it's powerful, we can drive for miles. But anything needs fixing on it. Your yearly car tax is expensive, and insurance is relatively expensive as well, and I wouldn't mind having just something I can get from A to B. I must be getting old. I never used to be like this. Just something from A to B. Just something I don't have to top up a tyre with air pressure every 2 days. Something that doesn't leap every time thinking the boot's on when it isn't, I don't know. Anyhow. So I'm nearly home now, 6 minutes away, 1.7 kilometres. Just at the turning coming off. So hopefully I've avoided the worst of the traffic. Just looking at the recording now, it's about 21 minutes. So yeah, around 25 minutes. That's fine for the commute. And like I said, my previous commute was killing me. So I've had quite a stressful day anyway, and then on top of that, to have a stressful commute, and then doing on call and out of hours. Do you know what? It really ain't worth it. It wasn't a work-life balance. It was really getting me down. So no more. And you know what? I know people still in a similar situation in the previous job and everything else. You know what? There's only one person can change that situation, and it's yourself. And I'd recommend you do. I worked with a guy in the last job, and he was so disillusioned, stressed. It was actually affecting his health. And I said to him, "This is what you need to do. Get your CV up to date. Do this, do that." And the number of times I've been on spoke to him since, and I'll do it this week. I'll do it this weekend. I'll do my CV this weekend. The guy is under enormous pressure. He's stressed out. He's in his 60s. Jesus, you don't need that in your life. And yet, here I am, months later, still on it. Get your CV done. I gave him my CV. I said, just rewrite it for you, It'll work. Look, this has got me loads of jobs. And I spoke to him the other day, and I'll do it the weekend, And he won't, He's not going to leave. And it'll kill him, I think.